Okay, so I decided to do a portion of this without you guys. So what I did without you guys was remove the kegs, removed this little housing cover for the light, and I pulled down the thermostat control and all the wiring for the lighting, and I made a hole. Basically, what I did was I got myself a 2.5-inch hole saw bit, and then the other thing that I got was this little piece right here, this black piece. That's the piece that goes into the receiver for the drill. This bit is not all one piece. This is actually two pieces, and you have to buy them separately. So the way this works is you got to pull this down and then you unthread it. So you buy this separately. Now it's a bit pricey. I think this was about a $15 bit, and then this, I forget exactly what they call this piece, but it's got these two pegs here. It threads in like so, and then once you're down to the bottom thread, then you just push this up so that these little pegs go into the holes on the hole saw, and it helps with torque and a little bit of torque control. I was just worried about a little too much torque action, so I got this made by Milwaukee on the left here. I'm not sure who makes this, but you know, you'll be able to find it. I got mine at Home Depot. I think I spent in the neighborhood of 20-25 bucks just on those two parts.
Okay, so the way it was like this. You remove the one screw here just to remove this, and then you've got a screw here and a screw here, and then one last secret surprise screw. It's kind of hard to see when you're on your back in here, and then this just comes down. Now what I did was, once this is loose, you move it to the side, and then you can see all this wiring here, and a hole that the Danby fridge people have already made, and they've insulated it and sealed it. But you can see all these wires here that look like they run along this way. So I was just kind of taking a guess about where these wires were going, and was just hoping that they ran them this way and nothing up here where I was drilling my hole. Now the other thing is that this screw right here is the mounting point for this hole is the mounting point for this screw to hold this up into place. So I barely cleared that. That's I don't know, 1/16 of an inch between the edge of the hole here and that mounting piece there. And then up here I've maybe got quarter, half an inch between the edge of this hole and the chilling plate for the fridge. So very, very close quarters in here. And I'm not the handiest of guys, but I was able to make it work. Now, what you're seeing here, that's just me already starting to throw down some foil tape to help seal up the insulation from any moisture. I'm sealing it off so the moisture doesn't get into the insulation. Okay, so what I did was I didn't drill from the bottom up. That's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad position as far as leverage and power goes. So you can see there's a little bit of the drill bit that's taller than the actual hole saw. So I just got it attached to my drill, and I just started the drill up until these teeth hit the plastic. That way I had my spot marked, and then I unattached this bit and just put a regular drill bit on and just drilled straight up, so that I had a small hole poked out at the top of the fridge. And I'll go to the top of the fridge here in a minute and show you guys where I went from there.
So once I had my drill bit come in from the bottom like this, I had a little hole here, and I kind of knew, okay, that's exactly center of where my hole is going to be, and I've got no worries. So I just lined this little guy up with the hole here and just started drilling. I went down a little ways. It took a little bit of force and some, you know, extra pressure to get this to pierce the top of the fridge here. But again, I had my hole lined up with the bit, and then I just kind of went down, and actually went down pretty far in there. Then I went down below and was on my back, and I drilled up, and that was enough to get the hole completely done. So okay guys, so one thing that I did not cover yet was support. So this is a small cut. I mean, you can kind of cut this piece to whatever size you want. When you have this on without support, there's a lot of give when you push down on this. So you need a little bit of support for your stand, your tap tower stand. This is a 1/2 inch piece of plywood. I probably could have gotten away with a 1/4 inch ply, or I don't know, 3/8. I mean, literally it's off by maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe slightly more. And I placed my plywood down. I should have done this in a different order, but I placed my plywood down. I think it was 5.5 inches from here to the center of my hole. I took that elsewhere to go drill it properly, drill a hole through it properly. So what I'm doing right now is I've got this from DAP. It's Quick Seal Plus. It's kitchen and bath adhesive sealant. It's waterproof, and it's got, you know, really nice durability. I've actually never really applied any kind of caulking or sealant, so I'm actually pretty terrible at it. I'm trying to lay a bead of it down. The key is to just get enough down between the fridge and the plywood to let it dry and seal into place so that this is firm. Plus, I'll have the plastic piece on top of the fridge screwed into place, which is also pressing down on this, which will help firm it up a bit. So that's the stage that I'm at right now. I'm going to continue attempting, sadly, to apply some bead here from this sealant. All right, well, it's not the most impressive bead ever, but we are getting, you know, good adhesion between the wood and the metal. I can be handy at times, but I do have my shortfalls. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my plastic piece down on top of this to just kind of press it down and hold it in place, as well as taking the screws and tightening them into place as well. So I'm gonna just tighten the 3 screws here, the 3 screws here off camera, and then maybe we'll be back to kind of reevaluate where we're at. So see you guys in a sec. Okay, so I've now got the underneath this plastic, I've got the plywood. So underneath the plywood, or above the plywood, I've got the plastic, and then I ran the foil tape from the inside of the fridge, you know, wrapped underneath that lip, and then all the way up. So it's covering from the inside plastic of the fridge, covering the foam insulation that's built into the fridge, the metal layer of the top of the fridge, the plywood, and now the plastic. And all gaps are sealed so that no moisture or cool air can get through there on the way up. And what I've done is I'm now going to utilize some more of this styrofoam, not styrofoam, but foam pipe insulation, like copper pipe insulation. And so what I've done is I've run some of it from the inside of the fridge to through the hole. I've encased the beer lines in it, and from the inside of the fridge to the top of the fridge up to the metal beer lines here, and then I'm going to shove it back down there. What I also did was, because I'm going to have a little bit of headspace between the top of this and the top of this and the inside of the lid here, I've got little bit of foam that comes with the tap tower cap. But what I did was just cut a little section of this pipe insulation. I kind of just put a little bit of a foil tape on it just to kind of help hold it together a little bit. And then I took some scissors and just notched. See those little notches there? Those are for the pipes. Right here, these stainless pipes. And I'll just take it and set it right on top. And now this is flush, or close to flush, with the top there. For my purposes, that is close enough. So again, I'll take this out. You can see the pipe insulation runs up to there. And these are actually pretty deeply notched. So I will just push it down. And there you go. And now you can just take the cap with its own little insulation cap, which will cover this hole. At least that's the idea. And you just put it right on top. And just a little bit of pressure. Get the O-ring on there. And boom. There you go. We are good to go. This is, I'm hoping this will be okay. This will be an okay solution. That's where we're at with that. I mean, all I gotta do now is just take some screws and just screw them down into the plywood. I don't think I'm gonna do, some people will take a bolt of some sort. They'll drill a hole, take a bolt, run it down with a washer and a nut and fasten it down here. I don't think I'm going to have any actual, stability issues with the tower. You're not cranking on it very hard. I mean, here's the tap in the closed position, and all you're doing is going click. So you're not putting a whole lot of force on these things. You're not cranking on it. So I don't see any reason why I should have to, drill 4 holes for bolts and to be able to put a nut and a washer on the inside. I don't, the less holes in my fridge, I feel, is for the better. I don't know. We'll just keep rolling the dice, but this is essentially it, guys. I hook up, the kegs, I hook up the CO2, which for the most part, this would essentially wrap up a Kegerator build. And since you guys have been on the point of view viewing end this whole time, you pretty much know the ins and outs of this entire fridge. So I think that's it for me, guys. I'm going to sign off, and this is essentially the Kegerator build. Everything else is easy. You just thread everything on, plug everything in, and there you go. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to grab my beer from the Black Dog Saloon. Cheers.